Good morning, everybody, from Andersen Forge on 16 January 2017. I've been threatening to do a little video like this for a long time. I just wanted to show how I ship knives to my customers from Andersen Forge, and I have literally been doing this for more than 15 years, I guess maybe 17 years. How this evolved was somewhere around 2000. I shipped a knife to a customer in Alaska, and at the time I had a buddy who ran a carpet store. And if you've ever seen the tubing that is in the center of a roll of carpet, they're pretty substantial. Those cardboard tubes are pretty thick and stout, and that's what I was using to ship knives. And I would take a 1x board and I would cut round circles that would fit right inside like this thing here. They'd fit right inside the end of the tube, the cardboard tube, and then I'd put screws in through the side, and that worked pretty good. But then one day I shipped a knife to Alaska, and I forget the actual details of what happened, but somehow or another that knife was compromised. I don't know if it was smashed or something. I forget what happened, but it wasn't good, and I wasn't happy. And I didn't like that I had a knife damaged somehow so far away. So I decided that would never happen again. Conveniently, at the time, and quite honestly for the majority of my life, I was wearing a tool belt building houses. I'm on a job site, and I went to work. I remember seeing all these scraps of this 1/4-inch Luan, kind of a 1/4-inch underlayment that's used for a lot of areas, that we just burned and threw away. And there was all these scraps and just 1x material, so I grabbed some, figured out how to just do a quick little box out of them, and I have literally been shipping my knives that way for the last 15 years, more than 15 years. And here's the deal on this stuff is, I mean, I have a knife in here. I got an $800 knife in here, right? But I don't care. I just don't want. I want to feel good when I send a knife off that I don't have to worry about it getting damaged. That's all. I mean, these are investments. A lot of people spend a lot of money on these knives we make, so we owe it to them to protect them. So now, not building houses anymore, but you can go to the lumber yard, your building supply, and you get a 4 foot by 8 foot sheet of Luan for about $12, and 4 feet by 8 feet, right? And I just rip it up. I rip it up into strips. I build my boxes all the same width, but they're different lengths depending on what knife I'm putting them in, or I'm putting in the box. So I just go get a sheet of Luan, I rip it up in these strips and stand them up in the corner and just cut them for length as I need them. And the frame of the box is made out of, I'll buy a 1x10 or 1x8 or 1x10, rip it up into strips and stand those up over in the corner or put them overhead and just cut them as I need them. And I think I figured one time in a box like this is $1.50, $1.50, not $2. And I don't know how you're going to spend any less than that in almost anything you do. Guys ship them in PVC, and you got to buy it. You got to put caps on the end, and so on and so forth. And this has just worked out so well. So what I wanted to show you was how I ship these knives out. So that's a lot of talking, which I can't seem to get away from. And they go priority mail, which means you got to have tape all the way around this side. I've got to do some labeling yet on this. It's not complete, but there will also be priority tape that goes around the end so that no matter where the box is in shipping, whoever's handling it can see that it is a priority piece of mail. So, and then the address, the labels get filled out accordingly. So real quick, I wanted to say, one time I have yet, since I started doing this, I have never had a knife damaged, but one time I sent one to England, and customs has to look into it, and the guy sent me pictures of the knife and how it didn't get totally destroyed. I will never know. They didn't take the screws out. They literally just took, if you know what a flat bar is, a flat bar or a crowbar or something, and just drove it right through this Luan. They didn't bother to take the screws out. They just drove a pry bar or crowbar or flat bar or something into this wood and just pried it open, just busted it open without removing the screws. And the knife was unharmed. So that's the only thing I have ever seen as a dangerous thing that happened with these, and it wasn't because of anything I did. It's because of what they did, and it's still, the knife got there unscathed. So this is how you'll get it, and I'm going to just, real fast. I got this on high. We're going to get these screws out of here. If you want to fast forward and not see this, you can, but you're only going to have to fast forward about 6 seconds. That was the clutch on my drill. I use 1 1/4 screws. And this is what you see when you open the box. And this is a Brazilian Bowie that I just made and posted up. But this is how my knives arrive at the customer. And you will open this up and see inside a certificate of authenticity. My certificate of authenticity have the name of the knife, my logo, and a photograph of the knife. Then we open it up, and printed on parchment is certificate of authenticity, picture of the knife description, the date it was completed, the blade material, handle material, accessory material, like whatever it might have been. Here it says 1903 wrought iron takedown fittings, my signature, Carl B. Andersen, ABS Journeyman Smith, and proud member of the Custom Knife Collectors Association. So this goes out with every knife. Then next we have the knife itself, and it's in a zippered nylon case. It's in a zippered nylon case. So we open up. Here's the knife. Here's the knife in a microfiber wrap that is tied with a Velcro strap. This is the sheath. This is the sheath for this particular knife. And in here, a lot of my knives, period, are takedowns. So what's in here will be a takedown tool I made, turned on my lathe for the finial, and a couple extra pins. The pins are removable in my knives, so if you happen to not think and get one lost in the carpet, you might want to get another one. But they're all the same length, so I can always send you some more. So there is the sheath. Here are the tools necessary for the takedown assembly. And then we do everybody gets a microfiber cloth. I've even got a bunch of these that have my excuse me, my Andersen Forge logo in the corner. We unwrap the knife, and here's the knife, and as well we have a tip protector to keep it from cutting through the pouch or accidentally poking the customer upon opening. And these come from Tracy Mickley at USA Knife Maker Supply, and they're like a dime or something, 15 cents. Very, very substantial and stout. Anyway, that's how a knife gets shipped from Andersen Forge. I also use if I can find it. This is rig. This is a rig rag. It's a oval piece of sheepskin, and this is rig, which is a rust inhibiting grease that comes from Brownells. It's like a real refined cosmoline. It's a real fine light colored grease, and I carry this to all the knife shows, and it's on my bench. I've got 4 or 5 of them, and you have the grease on your sheepskin. You'll always see you come to my table at a knife show, and one of these will be laying off to the side or under the table. And it's a real finely refined grease. And you can wipe that on there. I just wiped that tip protector off. But and then I'll give it a little wipe with paper towel or something. But anyway, that's how she goes. There's our knife, and all is good. I'll get this delivered to the guy, but I wanted to show everybody how knives were packaged and shipped at Andersen Forge. I appreciate your time. Have a good one. And to see you, hopefully, at the Little Rock show at the end of February.